Okay, everybody, those of you remaining, thank you very much for attending the Silver One presentation. Essentially, Silver One is a growing silver company with three main assets, all in the southwest U.S., two in Nevada, one in Arizona. I'll spend some time speaking about the two major deposits that we're working on, and then I'll talk a little bit about our other exploration level project as well. We acquired the rights to a project called the Candelaria Producing Silver Mine in southwest Nevada. This is a photograph of it, two big open pits, two big heap leach pads. Past producer was Kinross. We acquired this from Silver Standard back in 2017 with the right to get 100% with no royalties back to Silver Standard. We've been developing it quite aggressively. I'll talk about it. We'll also be talking very briefly about the Cherokee Project in eastern Nevada, and then I'll talk about another extremely high-grade silver opportunity in the state of Arizona. We did a financing last year, $9.5 million. Of that, Eric Sprott put in $5 million of the $9.5 million, and that was the third time that he invested via private placement into the company. All I'm going to say about silver is think inflation, think supply, think demand. I think the future is bright for silver, and often silver will outperform gold in a super cycle with respect to precious metals, as we've seen in the past and we're seeing recently right now. Let's talk quickly about Candelaria, southwest Nevada. Excellent infrastructure, high-grade past producer, discovered in 1864, converted to open pit mining from underground mining in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Kinross actually produced up until 1997, 68 million ounces, and they shut it down with the collapse of silver prices in 97, sold it off to Silver Standard, and then Silver Standard did a drill program, outlined a sizable resource, and they also did some studies, but with silver prices remaining low, they moved on to other projects. They were rebranding in 2017. They essentially, we entered into an agreement with them to be able to acquire a 100% interest. As I said, no royalties back to Silver Standard. So this resource is pretty sizable. It is historic. It was 43101 compliant. We're drilling to upgrade this resource to compliancy. Essentially, Mount Diablo had measured indicated resources of 44 million ounces of silver plus an additional 34.5 million ounces of silver at the inferred level. But Kinross left a lot of silver on the old heap leach pads. We drilled them. We did metallurgical testing. Leach pad number 1 that you can see in this photograph here, leach pad number 2 just hidden behind the hill, have about 30 and 15 million ounces of silver respectively. Good grades for material already being mined, 42 grams per ton. Can we make essentially these as the first stage in the redevelopment of the Candelaria project? Let's talk about that, and let's talk about what we've done also with respect to the underground resources. Looking at infrastructure, it's excellent. We've got power, we've got water, we've got paved roads, and we have good, excellent access. So recently we've done some drilling. The two big open pits are shown in this slide. We did some drilling to the north of the Mount Diablo pit in 2020. We had some pretty high-grade intercepts, 1,100 grams per ton silver with about 1.5 grams per ton gold over 8 meters within a 28-meter wide interval, hosting potentially underground mineable grades. We did a 15,000-meter reverse circulation program in the 2021, and we outlined multiple high-grade intercepts down dip from the Diablo pit, values up to 1,700 grams per ton silver. We also looked at a long strike, easy access continuation to the silver mineralization east and westwards of the Diablo pit. We did confirm that. We're doing metallurgical testing on that material as we speak. We are going to be doing another drill program, not only to test further extensions to that mineralization, but also also more down dip mineralization. And the idea is, can we mix some of this easily accessible open pit mineralization with the heap material in order to increase grades and potential recoveries? We're looking at putting out an economic update in the first half of 2022. So stay tuned for that. There was a third component to the drill program. We were looking at essentially some potential porphyry-related mineralization that was never really discussed before at Candelaria. We found evidence of that on the old heap dumps, and that material looked like this. It's an altered porphyry with abundant chalcopyrite. That sample ran up to 2.76% copper with good silver and gold credits. So ongoing at Candelaria, we're going to be looking at continued metallurgical testing, another drill program, and then trying to put out an economic update in 2022. That said, we have another project in eastern Nevada, Cherokee, a very interesting high-grade silver, copper, gold system. We did a little bit of drilling on one of the patented claims, but we had to curtail the program because of some technical difficulties. We had mixed results, but we've got multiple other targets there. It's a strong vein over 12 kilometers along strike with multiple targets. We'll be testing those in 2022. Phoenix Silver is a very interesting project, extremely high grade. Some prospectors came to us. They didn't know how to explore it. There's no outcrop, but they had found some vein fragments. One of them weighed up to 417 pounds, estimated to contain about 70% silver. It's located just outside the town of Globe in Arizona, a big porphyry copper producing center. And then we're in an old silver camp on the northeast side. We did assay some of the very rich silver vein material, and we got values up to 459,000 grams per ton silver. Unbelievable grades. Can we find the source of those? We're looking essentially at the 417-pound fragment was kind of found in the middle of that, upstream or upslope from that. We have some geophysical and geochemical anomalies. We've applied for a drill permit. We're waiting on that drill permit, which we hope to get in the not too distant future. Can we find the source of that extremely high-grade mineralization? And also in the south, there seems to be an overprinting of porphyry-related mineralization from the big porphyry event to the south with Freeport-McMoran, BHP, Rio Tinto. Our neighbors to the west are actually drilling in joint venture with South 32 for porphyry-related mineralization. So stay tuned on this project. Those are the three projects that we're really working on. And as I said, Candelaria, trying to get that economic study out. We're doing more met work, more drilling. Cherokee, we'll be looking at some other targets in 2022. And Phoenix Silver, we're just waiting on that permit for the drilling program. This is essentially how we've traded since the inception of the company in mid-2016. We kind of follow the silver prices going up and down. And Eric Sprott is our largest shareholder. He came in on the last financing and also two previous private placements in the company. We do trade at pretty good volumes on an average basis. We've got just under $10 million in the bank, more than enough money to meet the needs of the company going forward for the next several months, if not for a year or more. So thank you very much. That's the presentation, and I think I made my time. Thank you.